You heard of the Big Bang Theory. Well, I want to talk about the Big Bang Query. So there's a false truth that if you succumb to it, it's going to hold your gift back. Now, if this limited belief is backed by confirmation bias, it's dangerous. And the confirmation, it'll create a misleading validation. And then that validation, it'll maintain conformity. And that conformity will be to complacency. That'll be the main thing. It's just like this PlayStation game that came out a couple of years back called Inside. And in this game called Inside, there's a little boy, right? And he starts off running through the woods, avoiding men with dogs who are like, they searching the perimeter like frantically. And there's no explanation. You just drop off. The game begins right in the midst of this action. And eventually the kid is running back to the laboratory. Sorry for the spoilers, but he rejoins the hive mind. So you spend the entire game trying to escape from them when you're really just being corralled right in the headquarters. Hence the Big Bang Query. And just like the video game called Inside, we could find ourselves running forward and towards something that we think we're really running from to get away from, but end up running right into. And there's another thing that functions the same way, going both to and from at the same time, back and forward at the same time. And that's a fifth dimensional object. Essentially is an object that expands and contracts simultaneously in different regions. And so with this, you have times of expansion and times of contraction. Expand without the D at the end. That's the opposite of panning, which is to look around. This is concentrated energy. You're not weighing options when you expand, when you're thinking expansive. You're pushing forward. It's more tunnel vision than what we think. Expansion is always direct. The root word of contraction is to contract. So it's an agreement that binds, that pulls you in, it contracts, pulls away. And a lot of times, hive minds involve agreements that bind. This is what happens a lot of times. This is hive mind for you. It's always something binding. Binding versus loose, chaining down versus setting free. This is the Big Bang Query. This is why I say a false truth, it can hold your gift back, especially if it's backed by confirmation bias. This is gaslighting at its finest. And this can happen to a lot of people on a lot of levels, just in case you're under this. So then the choice to expand becomes a choice of separation. Most of us never make it through that separation because we can't bear to dissociate. We can't bear to disconnect. We can't afford to disalign with the people we've always known, the things, the places we've always associated with. We can't. The separation, it just is the elimination of too many things that's familiar. So this is why true expansion is not for everybody, because separation is required and that could be too much to deal with. So it's in that moment of solitude though, when the idea is made clear and the Big Bang Query is fulfilled. Right there. That's when expansion begins, when you don't have no other voice but your own. That's the Big Bang Query. So we look inside the dark sea, thousands of little ideas, right? That's the universe before this. And I'm not saying for you to believe or disbelieve in the Big Bang Theory, but I'm just using what the information is given about the Big Bang Theory. And you can use the principles or what's explained there to help your life out. It's usually in solitude where the light bulb shines the brightest. You might get it in a crowd, but that thought is usually coming in from the inside. You might catch something a certain way, but it'll be triggered, connected to something that you can remember. So once that light bulb cuts on, an unstoppable mission is born. This is the Big Bang Query. So remember, a false truth, it'll keep you stagnant, but a true truth will propel you forward. Even if it seems to be no progress, you will still continue to go forward. Super T Sigma, Sigma Programming. This is the Big Bang Query. Are you willing to isolate yourself so that the light bulb of your brightest idea can shine uninterrupted? Peace.